Global economic collapse has long been on the agenda for the New World Order. The world's currencies must be brought under the complete control of the international banking cartel. There is no way out from under the manipulated monetary system of the rich men of this world. Their demonic dominion will eventually end at the hand of Yeshua. In preparation for his millennial reign, Yeshua strips the 7 seals of Satan's authority from the title deed to this world. Satan knows that his dominion is soon coming to an end. His minions go forth with vengeance to execute his plan for global tyranny. The stripping of the first seal brings forth social justice warriors to establish Satan's new world order. A false Messiah complex permeates their mission, as his mind-numbed minions pretend to have all the answers to world peace, yet their media-manipulated path leads directly to totalitarian slavery. They champion a new world order of peace, prosperity, and everlasting utopia as they follow their leader on the great white horse. They charge bravely into a new world of wanton morals and gender fluidity where one can be or do anything one can imagine. The only commandment they follow, do what thou wilt. The stripping of the second seal put a great sword into the hands of those who take peace from the earth. Irrational, fabricated religious fervor fuels terrorism on a global scale. Murder and violence increases until fear and dread replace the comforts and safety of a once sane civilization. Revelation chapter 6, verse 5, we read, Yeshua stripped the third seal, and a third living creature shouted, "Go!" A black horse charged the earth. Its rider held a balance scale in his hand, and a voice out of the midst of the 4 living creatures cried out, "A small measure of wheat for a day's wage, a little larger measure of barley for a day's wage, but do not damage the oil or the wine." Unlike an agricultural famine in which resources are not available at any price, the rider on the black horse has an unjust balance scale in his hand. It cost an entire day's wage just to buy the bread for one day. Even the poor man's grain, barley, cost an entire day's wage, but oil and wine are untouched. The unjust balance is the devaluation of currency and manufactured economic collapse. The good things in life, the oil and wine, are readily available, but are financially out of reach for the common man. Global economic collapse has long been on the agenda for the New World Order. The world's currencies must be brought under the complete control of the international banking cartel. There is no way out from under the manipulated monetary system of the rich men of this world. Their demonic dominion will eventually end at the hand of Yeshua. James, Yaakov, prophesied of this very event. "Come now, rich men, weep and howl because of the miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver are decayed, and their corrosion will be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh like a burning fire. You have heaped together treasure for the last days. The hire of the laborers who have reaped your fields, you kept back by fraud. They cry out against you, and their cries have entered into the ears of Yehovah Tsevaot. You have lived in pleasure on the earth and have been vicious. You have fattened yourselves for the day of slaughter. You have condemned and killed the just, and he has had no power to resist you. Brethren, be patient until the coming of the Lord. The husbandman is waiting for the precious fruit of the earth. He has long patience for it until he receive the early and the latter rain. Be also patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draws nigh." Yes, the Lord is long-suffering, but the day of his wrath is approaching. The international banksters who wage and finance wars for profits and keep most of the world living hand to mouth, from paycheck to paycheck, They are just fattening themselves for the slaughter.
Shalom, Torah fans. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend. Tap the subscription button and the bell icon, and I promise to update weekly with in-depth biblical research. Be sure to download the new michaelrood.tv app for both mobile and home devices for even more commercial-free content.